How does modern life and the modern world make you feel? Does it make you feel anxious, overwhelmed, fed up, frustrated, stressed out, upset, guilty, shameful? Notice how all the emotions that I've just listed are all negative emotions, and I know for a fact that 99% of the world are very unhappy with the world we are living in currently. And I think the biggest thing that young people are struggling with specifically is comparison, comparing themselves to other people with completely different lives, completely different backgrounds, completely different life choices. And this is leading to us all feeling pretty shitty about ourselves, and me included. I've been there and done that. I've spent a lot of time scrolling social media, especially times on Instagram and Twitter, where you think you see this guy, he's living their life, he's out in Dubai, he's out traveling the world, he's working from a laptop, he's making a lot of money, he's with these women, he's living, a good lifestyle, he's jacked, he's got all of this stuff that, a lot of young guys would aspire to be like. And you think, you know what, why is that not me? And this is I think it's something you kind of realise quite early on in your journey, to be like, you know what, we have completely different backgrounds. I'm not going to compare myself to you because, one, a lot of the time it's fake, and two, we come from completely different backgrounds and life choices, like I've just mentioned. Hence why X person is living in Dubai, why X person is still in the UK, why X person is working a job, whatever it may be. And I believe that a lot of different factors, a lot of different habits in particular, social media, video games, poor food, drinking alcohol, drugs, consumerism, porn, all of these types of habits that a lot of us have indulged. If we can cut these out completely, our life will transform. If we can chase real dopamine in our life when we go out for walks, spend time in nature, getting regular sunlight, working out, eating pretty healthy, drinking a lot more water, spending time with friends, our loved ones, working on our passions, working on things we actually care about instead of chasing a wage over and over again, thinking that our life's going to suddenly get better and we're going to find purpose in doing that. Because, quite frankly, that is never going to happen. And I believe my personal views are very old school. I always have said that I want to meet a girl in person. I want to spend the person that I spend the rest of my life with, I want to meet them in person. I want to form a genuine connection, which is something that I believe dating apps are never going to be able to replicate. And I think many people, nearly every person I know who have tried dating apps, realise that this is going to be the case. So a lot of people are finding that out and being like, you know what, I'm not even going to bother trying. And hopefully finding, people out there in person, as we should be doing, as we always have done over the last 5 years or so. And when it comes to stuff like job interviews, you see them a lot of the time going on Zoom and all of this bullshit. And I think, you know what? This is not the right thing to do. I want to meet you in person. I want to shake your hand. I want to look you in the eye. I want to sit down and talk about, what I can offer, what you can offer, and all of these types of things. That how we should interact with each other should always be in person. I should be looking you dead in the eye. You should be looking me dead in the eye. And we should have a proper human conversation instead of over a screen and all of these types of things, which again sounds quite old school. I probably sound like your grandparent talking like this, but this is just my view, and this is what I believe how we should be living our lives. And I'm not going to tell you how to live your life whatsoever, but I think if we all lived more natural life like we used to do, then we would see our lives, like I say, transform, change for the better. And I believe we are starting to see a change. I believe there's a lot of young people out there who are really sick and tired of social media, who are really sick and tired of dating apps, who are really sick and tired of going out and doing the same bullshit in their local town, local city in the UK or wherever it may be where you're from, getting drunk, feeling shit the next day, working a job they hate, in shit relationships, working shit jobs, and doing all these things over and over again. There's a lot of people out there, and there's definitely a demand for it. We need to move young men away from away from Coinbase, away from porn, away from Andrew Tate, away from all these things that are bad things for us. And you probably know that more than me as to what that exactly is for yourself, but we all have vices, and we've all kind of been manipulated in some way to believe in that the answer is elsewhere, and that social media provides us a lot of answers. And I know that a lot of people I speak to say, you know what, I can't delete social media because this reason, most commonly because, you know, I won't be able to speak to so and so and all of this. And I've always said, if they really want you, you can still use a phone, and they can still just text you, ring you, and that's kind of all they need to contact you without seeing you in person. If they need to contact you, they'll do that, and then you can actually go and meet them in person. I think, you know, that's all you kind of really need, isn't it? To say, okay, let's talk. And obviously, if you can't reach them, you know, geographically, and go for a coffee, go to the gym, and do something nice with them, then yeah, you can have a phone call, drop them messages and stuff like that. But you don't need social media. You don't need to spend hours and hours, and that's what a lot of people is. It's not, you know, spending 5 minutes replying to a friend or every now and then. It's not doing that type of thing at all. It's spending time scrolling reels, looking at stuff that's not benefiting your life, getting spread kind of propaganda and agendas that doesn't serve you in any way whatsoever. And society doesn't want this. It doesn't serve society very well for me to kind of come out here, put this video out and say, you know what, you don't need a lot of things in your life, and a lot of things, especially stuff where it involves consumerism, is negative and is not going to improve your life. As we all kind of know, that the world does revolve around money. And if you kind of been like, you know what, I don't need any of this, all these kind of adverts that are pushed to my face. Every time I go on YouTube, there's a different ad telling me I need this, telling me to buy this course, telling me I need a new car, telling me all of this types of things. When you turn on your TV, same thing occurs, and people are trying to sell you something all the time. And that's the way the world is. And I'm not saying, you know, this is going to change or anything like this, or it should, but you realise that, okay, a lot of things are very pointless, and I can just be that person and be like, you know what, I don't need any of this. I'm very happy in kind of doing those things that mean a lot more to me, doing the things that, like I say, you're spending time meditating on yourself, working on yourself, spending time with people you care about, doing things that you care about and you're passionate about. You're going to see your life transform. And I think if a lot of people, you know, truly actually cut out these things that we all spending so much time upon, like I say, social media and stuff, then our lives would be a lot more simple. We wouldn't feel these conscious kind of feelings of anxious and shame and guilt, and feeling like, you know what, you know, life is unfair and I'm in this difficult situation, because chances are a lot of people are going through something similar, and most people's lives are not what they are made out to be. And yeah, like I say, I think we will need to take a step back and be like, kind of a dopamine detox, as I've mentioned on this channel significantly, and kind of cutting out that kind of fake dopamine and replacing it with real dopamine. It's a very simple concept, but I think a lot of people are still truly kind of just struggling with navigating that and cutting it all out, because there's so many easy mechanisms that we can now use at a touch of a screen to be like, feel like we're connected, feel like we're a part of something. But we're not at all. We couldn't be further disconnected from ourselves and from the community that we need to be around, which is our family, our friends, our loved ones. You need to switch it all off. You need to go and touch some grass and connect with your soul and find the truth to your being. And this is not, you know, a spiritual video whatsoever, but it's all inside of yourself. And if you actually spend time this last couple of weeks or so, and particularly since the start of this year, I've really drastically reduced the amount of time I've spent on social media. I try and pretty much never have any social media on my phone unless I need to quickly reply to someone. And it's made me feel a lot better. It's made me feel a lot more secure in myself. It's made me feel a lot more confident, and my self-esteem grew significantly. And I definitely think this has coincided with me drastically cutting out social media. You could say it could have been for multiple different reasons, and it's just a coincidence, something that happens over time, maybe. But for me, I've definitely felt that that's been the case, and I felt like I've been a truer version of myself. I kind of said the things that I wanted to say a lot more. I've been a lot more authentic in myself, and I've got a much clearer vision from doing this. And I think if we all can take one step and all kind of build a movement of kind of just boycotting the modern world, and this video may not do that well, and there may be a part of reason that YouTube don't want to see that people don't want to see that happen, because again, like I say, it's not great for society for you to be like, you know what, I'm not interested in any of the stuff the modern world offers. I'm going to live a quite traditional life and I'm going to be very happy with that, and I'm going to be fairly self-sufficient. That does not work very well in the economy. So yeah, I hope this video has helped you. If it has, I would appreciate if you can like and subscribe. If you need any more guidance on how you can, get there for yourself and get in a better life, and to kind of just cut out anything that you are struggling with, whether they're bad habits or kind of bad choices that you feel like you've made, and how to overcome those hurdles, I'm the right person for you. So my one-to-one personal coaching link will be in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.